What are you up to, Ethan? We had a good conversation. I enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. What I have said precisely that motivated your actions. What have I said precisely that motivated your actions and your accusations? Deleting our discussions. An honest question. And then he like quote tweeted himself, classic Jordan Peterson move. So here, Jordan Peterson said, you know, what are you up to, Ethan? Finally, you might seriously consider providing me with footage so I can post it. Given that I agreed to appear on your show based on the agreement that there would be, in fact, a show. Also, I should warn you that those who engage in cancel culture generically live to regret it. I'm not going to come after you except politely in this Twitter stream, but the chickens will definitely come home to roost. You will be held to a higher and higher and soon impossible to maintain ethical standards by the very mob you currently wish to please, and you will make a mistake. They will devour you with glee. Please take this warning seriously. I liked you. So he's like seething. He's operating like the dragon of chaos here. So Ethan obliges and starts talking. He says, to start, you called a ban on conversion therapy moral grandstanding 6 days ago. 6 days ago when Jordan B. Peterson tweeted this, Ethan fucking texted this to me and he was like genuinely shocked. He's like, what the fuck? And I personally think that like Ethan, maybe because of his affinity towards him early on when he had him on the show and stuff, like he literally just like, he was legitimately shocked. He was like, what the fuck? This is like insanely fucking Republican. And I was like, yes, I've been saying this for years. Thank you. Yes, he has always been that way. But now, you know, many people are starting to recognize it, especially because like he is very open about his like reactionary points of view. Conversion therapy, more moral grandstanding from our juvenile OM. Okay? Because Justin Trudeau banned conversion therapy in Canada. Like, can you comprehend a person who claims to be a liberal saying this? And he said, you believed in enforced monogamy from the New York Times interview. Violent attacks are what happens when men do not have partners, Mr. Peterson says, and society needs to work to make sure those men are married. He was angry at God because women were rejecting him, Mr. Peterson says, of the Toronto killer. The cure for that is enforced monogamy. That is why monogamy emerges. Enforced monogamy. Mr. Peterson does not pause when he says this. Enforced monogamy is, to him, simply a rational solution. Otherwise, women will only go for the most high-status men, he explains, and that couldn't make either gender happy in the end. That take is just red pill shit, okay? You're just a red pill pickup artist at that point. So, as someone who, like, covered this shit very closely, who's very familiar with that, it's just, he's doing incel theory. Like, he's doing fucking dialectical incelism, okay? That's a psychotic thing to fucking say in the New York Times and then have his fucking fan base who agrees with him defend him while still simultaneously holding on to the belief that he's not a fucking, you know, incel right-winger. Okay. Half the men fail, he says, meaning that they don't procreate, and no one cares about the men who fail. I laugh because it's absurd. You're laughing about them, he says, giving me a disappointed look. That's because you're female. Bro, this idea that, like, if you get no bitches, you're gonna fucking start doing murder is a psychotic one, okay? He owned her, though. She is a female. You're a broad. Your mischaracterization of Bill C-16 resulted in a surge of transphobia. The bill was created to add trans people as a protected group against hate crimes. Using the wrong pronoun would not result in anyone going to jail. In fact, to this day, 0 people have gone to jail. That's also true. Funny. Using the wrong pronouns would need to be considered in totality with other actions for it to constitute a hate crime, basically like any other hate crime, which, of course, ironically, was already in a legal precedent that existed. It just expanded on the federal level, okay? It was already in most places. It's like if you decriminalize marijuana in like every state and then decided to decriminalize marijuana at the federal level, and people are like, this is going to destroy society. It's like, bitch, it already exists. The fuck are you talking about? But of course, because Americans are so goddamn stupid and don't recognize that like Canada has and different countries have different kinds of hate crime and hate speech restrictions, that they jumped on it and were like, this is a chilling effect on free speech. Shut the fuck up. Okay, you can't compel speech, man. Yes, you can. People compel speech all the fucking time. You are a fucking baboon, okay? Any incels in the chat, smilers, shut the fuck up, okay? There are hate speech restrictions in many countries, okay? In most countries. America is actually not the norm with how unrestrictive it is. And yet, even then, there are still hate speech and, well, not hate speech, but there are free speech restrictions. Free speech is not a maximalist, absolutist position you can take on it. There is no such thing. If that's the case, than fucking do slander, lie, perjure people, okay? Defame people without and try to get away with it actively, or violate copyright consistently. Another way to fucking destroy free speech. Yell fire in a crowded theater. Okay, you can't do these things, and the reason why you can't do these things is because even in America, that has the most unleashed, unrestricted free speech restrictions, there are still understandably fucking free speech regulations. Using the wrong pronouns would need to be considered in totality with other actions for it to constitute a hate crime, basically like any other hate crime. As I found you amicable in our conversation, very interesting and insightful, but I am just not comfortable being a part of a pipeline leading to takes like this. Up yours, Justin Trudeau. Seriously, you'd have to kill me first. Why did he say this? Because he's getting 4,000 retweets and 27,000 likes. When Jordan Peterson crawled out of the fucking post-benzo addiction hole that he was in, okay, after he almost died in fucking like Croatia or Serbia or wherever the fuck he was, because his daughter wanted to go bang a fucking weirdo PUA guy at a fucking Serbian, hookah bar, okay, in the middle of fucking COVID apexing through the goddamn cities, and gave Jordan Peterson's like crippled body fucking COVID and almost murdered him, okay? After the experimental cold turkey benzo treatment that he could only get in fucking Russia, almost murdered him. He fucking had, 50 people liking his tweets, but now he's back, and now he's beefing up the fucking conservative, like, I hate these COVID restrictions bullshit, because it fucking makes him money, and you guys are fucking idiots for not recognizing that. If you don't recognize that, okay? It's just very, very stupid. Like, imagine loving a dude who got owned by Apple Cider. Wouldn't be me. Like, what is this? If you're taking care of some last minute Christmas shopping this week, here's something you can also add to your list: a booster. Up yours, Justin Trudeau. Seriously, you don't have to kill me first. Dog, you're gonna die if you get COVID anyway. You have the constitution of like nothing, okay? You are frail. You are fragile as fuck. You will die to COVID if you get COVID. Get a fucking booster and protect yourself. This motherfucker almost died to apple cider, okay? If you almost died to apple cider, COVID could certainly fucking rip you, all right? And then CNN guest Jessica Malati calls on Spotify to place warnings around Joe Rogan's podcast, alerting listeners that his information is actually incorrect. Scientists call on Joe Rogan's podcast mass misinformation event, and he's saying scientists, they're not real scientists. There it fucking is. These are some of the many different things that Jordan Peterson has said, okay? If you want to talk about his fucking transphobia and all this other shit, there are videos that I have conducted. 89 countries worldwide have hate speech laws. 84% of European countries have hate speech laws. In the Americas, 11 out of the 35 have hate speech laws. Like, plenty of countries have hate speech laws, okay? And all people still at this point can fucking say is you're taking them out of context. Like the oldest fucking takes in the book that I have heard a million times over. Okay, a million times over. EU is a bit overkill with their hate speech laws, to be honest. I do agree with that. Not only that, but also the very same people that fucking hate speech laws because it routinely claps their ass cheeks will regularly use like NetsDG, for example, to try and, region lock my VOD. So miss me with that bullshit. I get fucking clapped way more than everyone else by cancel culture and hate speech restrictions. I think it'd be very productive to have a conversation with Ethan and myself on our show Leftovers. You could clarify your stances at Jordan B. Peterson. There you go. Then won't he admit he's wrong on the show and then continue saying his harmful points outside the show? No. You don't need to ask Ethan for this invite. I've already talked to Ethan about this. He is down. He wants this to happen. I just don't know why he hasn't. There's no way he will agree. He won't 2v1 though. Okay, he can bring someone else on too, along with him, if he wants the 2v2. Like, I don't have a problem with that either. So removing old interviews just to make new videos of new interviews with JP. Well, here's the difference there, okay? Well, first of all, this is my take and not Ethan's, okay? This is my point of view. I personally would not have deleted the old videos, but I respect Ethan's decision in doing so, okay? Because having a new video with Jordan Peterson with your current point of view is entirely different than keeping up older videos where it seems like you are in agreement with this person. One could be seen as platforming. The other one is having an actual discussion. That is the difference. If you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. They're unlisted, not deleted. Yeah. It's not a debate. It's a discussion. It is an opportunity for clarity. It is an opportunity to it's an opportunity for clarity and to clarify your positions. The older interviews that Ethan did with Jordan Peterson were absolutely positive ones, where there was no pushback, nothing at all. Jordan is bigger than, wouldn't Jordan be promoting H3? No, Jordan Peterson is no longer bigger than Ethan Klein. Jordan Peterson, there was a point where Jordan Peterson was popping off, not anymore.